can feel being with your mum, honestly. And he's so, he can't say enough about how proud he is of how much you've all looked after her and like whatever, and he's so emotional about, you know, it's like she couldn't have been treated any more like a queen than she has been, okay? And he's with her all the time now. Both of them are very close to her, yeah? And the time is treasured, and, you know, you need to understand that. And it's wonderful in terms of, you know, like the party, and they were there, and, you know, it's absolutely, and he is very, very appreciative but loving, very, very emotional. Okay, I'm not going to start crying on camera or anything like that. Right, okay.
Sorry, guys.
Right, okay. The little ones, as he refers to them, okay? Little ones. The one on the way, yeah? The one on the way.
I don't know, we've just had one.
No, listen. One on the way. I'm
I'm
just telling you. If you'll let me. Right, hold on. Your grandmother, sorry. Your dad's that emotional now that your grandmother has literally, seriously moved him like that, and he's gone, oh, all right then. Your grandmother saying, the one on the way. Okay? There are two more to come. Right? So they're not necessarily saying twins, but there are one on the way, and they're saying two more to come, she's saying. Okay? Sorry.
There'll be 21 nephews and nieces.
Well, you know. What did they say about the whole family, whatever? So, they're talking about one on the way, but there's two more to come. So it's not just going to be one, there's going to be two. Okay?
Okay.
Busy. Generational. This generational thing. You know, and your grandmother's saying, you know, how wonderful to be able to say that you've got a family lineage and heritage like that. I mean, they're talking about 4 generations. I mean, literally, she's so pleased. 4 generations she's gone of your hair. 4 generations, you know, when she looks down and she sees, and your dad sees your mum, and then sees the children and the children. She's just like, you know, magical. Do you know what I mean? She hasn't got any, there's no telling off going on. It's just all very emotional, very like, how you should be proud. But I mean, when she was here, she would have been so strict and whatever, but from above there, and she looks down, she's just saying it like warms her heart. That's how it looks, you know, it couldn't be any. Right, and they're talking about, what a strange image to throw in while I'm being all emotional. Which one of them really likes seafood? Because I've got like cockles and whelks, and they look vile, you know, like those things that look like snails. Yeah, cockles and what, you understand? Yeah. I've got cockles and they look horrible. When I was a child, you know, when you look at whelks and they look like snails and whatever. Spirit do this, to be fair. I'm going to explain to you now. They do this because obviously it's very, very, the energies are very emotional and whatever. So your dad has come up with this thing, you know, them little things that you get with the cocktail stick eating seed. And I've looked around and I've gone, you want me to tell her that? And he's gone, yeah. I've gone, oh, okay. To change the atmosphere, okay? Not a time for being sad, only time for being happy, okay? And he's saying that sometimes that he's seen you being sad and whatever, and literally what he's done, if you feel it, which I think is lovely, he's put your hand, when we're fed up and we look down, he's putting his hand under your chin. And he would have said, chin up, come on, it's not that bad, is it? Yeah? But very specific about it. So if you have this feeling, you know, like a waft around your cheek and whatever, and it's like you feel your chin, like that's him. Yeah? There's a new pair of shoes and a new path, okay, for you. And that's why he's saying now, this is for you. Right, and he's saying, oh, here we go again. For my little girl, putting his finger under your chin, lifting it up and saying, tell her, there's another path in another pair of shoes, which means you're walking away, walking in another direction. Okay, he's saying, you know what, but his words are, for my little girl, that's exactly how he said it, okay? Your grandmother's talking about her girl, and the but it's your dad that's saying. So if you feel a sensation like a hand under your chin, that'll be him. And he's saying you will feel it. Because you've asked. You've asked. Yeah? And he's saying, tell her that she hasn't imagined it. You've asked and he's given it. Yeah? So he listens and he hears everything, you know. So you're well protected and watched over, is what he's saying, okay? He acknowledges how it's been and whatever, but he's saying that's moving now. Moving. Okay? Not only moving in the physical, he's saying, but because your way of looking at it has changed. And he's pleased with that because he showed me an image of like, it's like the sun's come out. He's gone, oh no, the world all looks different. You know, what's that song? Is it like the Annie song? The Tomorrow song?
Yeah.
That's it! Have I told you that Spirit likes to sing? Vanessa can't sing, by the way. But I like to have a go.
Please don't.
I can't, Lee. Does anybody know the song I'm talking about? Can anybody sing?
Oh, no.
Okay, so that's what he's talking about, yeah? So, if your mum is not going to be frightened or scared, will you be able to tell her?
Yeah.
Because if you can tell her, he's saying he'd like you to tell her. Only if she's not going to be frightened. So I can see an image of you sort of sitting there beside her with your hand on her hand, and he'd be like, he's going to be sat on the other side. He's saying, so, you know, if she'll listen and you won't frighten her, he'd really like her to know. Okay, and he needs for you to tell her that. I'll tell you what, you're giving me a right whatever tonight, aren't you? After George and whatever, now I've moved into emotional crisis. You need to explain to her not to be scared, because when the time comes, he'll be there, and it literally will be a wonderful. I mean, literally, that's what he's saying. He'll just come and take her hand, and you need to say that to her now, so she's not frightened. Because what will happen is when she literally will, he'll come like that, and she'll be like, and off she'll go, like a young woman, literally. Okay, you know, and don't be sad. And he wants you to tell her that because he doesn't want her to be frightened, because there's no reason to be frightened. You understand? And when you tell her that, he's going to be sat on the other side, yeah. Because she might think she's imagined it, but she hasn't, because she's seen him. If you ask her, has she told you that? She's seen him. Yeah. Okay. So he's saying, tell her so she knows. And it'll just be like, yeah, right, I'll find on ready. Yeah? Is that all right? Sure, Anne-Marie? Yeah. And for all of you, when I said this evening that there's no bad news, that you do know that's not bad news, don't you? Okay. Right, he's happy with that. You can go back to thinking about cockles and whelps and Annie's something tomorrow. What is it?
Tomorrow.
There you go. Right, and he's making a point of the fact that you need to realise that the sun's going to come up every day, and it'll happen like that every day, and everything goes on. Yeah? We got that covered. Anne-Marie's going to be sending some pink on there. Ho, hum, ho, hum. Right, okay. I've got a fairground, okay? Next person in spirit. Got a fairground, I've got a merry-go-round, okay? So, do any of you remember being little and being on the merry-go-round? It's like whenever you went to the fair, you had to go on the merry-go-round. It's like, oh, I've got to go on the merry-go-round. Even now when you see it, it's like, I've got to go on the merry-go-round, aren't you? Yeah, but you're really growing up and you'll look silly. I don't care. Is that you? Good there. Right, okay. Sorry, I can see the whole golden carousel thing and the music going on now. Okay, let me just find out so we can... Right, okay, I've got merry-go-round, fun fair, I've got Seaside Resort, UK, and they're talking about Barmouth. Barmouth when you were little. Anybody went to Barmouth on holidays when you were little? Right, okay. Well, no, if you understand, but I mean, they're being specific about the place, so I need for this to get more information. Okay, any more takers on Barmouth? No? Oh, good gracious. Why did they do that? Right, okay, let me try and get more information. Right. Man in spirit, talking about Barmouth. I've asked him to say to me, listen, I need to know more about who you are and what's going on. Very upright, quite tall, would have sometimes worn a suit, looked really smart. So if he'd have been going out on a weekend or whatever, he would have had to be well presented. Tracy, do you understand?
Yeah.
Do you understand? No, so I'm talking about like a grandfatherly figure or a fatherly figure. Man in spirit is talking about a nostalgic link, talking about Barmouth. But he's saying that when he used to go out, if he was going out on Saturday night or whatever, he used to have to look smart. So even if he put a jacket on and he's got his hair, do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think so.
You think you've got who I've got? Because I need to make sure. Right, so he's talking about somebody called Sydney. Even if that's not him, do you know whether it's a family friend or somebody in the family?
I do know somebody in the family suit.
Right, okay, fine. Right, well, we didn't stray far, did we? to the girl next door. These two ladies aren't related, by the way, in case you were wondering. Because with the amount of your family. Oh no! He's not Sid, is he?
No.
Oh, right, okay. Let me just find out what. We're busy in the back corner of the room there. Okay. Right, he's talking about industrial work and doing some sort of, in a factory, doing some sort of packing and quality control. Was that his job?
Yeah.
Okay, so is this granddad?
This is, could be my dad or my granddad.
Right, because first of all I'd got sort of like dad and whatever, now I've got packing boxes, inspecting like quality control and stuff like that. That's what he's showing me. Did they both do that?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Right, father and son then, so they're on the same.
Yeah.
Okay, right, let me ask them what they want to. Right, they're talking about you having a feeling at the moment of everything being, and that's why they've talked about their work, everything being like it's monotonous and feels like it's the same day in, day out. Do you understand what they're talking about? Oh no, not another. Please don't give me another one. Look, these tissues were for you. Like, I ain't gonna go through another load of tissues tonight, have I? Right, you're feeling like you're on a treadmill, you know, like the whole rat race thing that we're talking about, and that's how it feels. It feels like Groundhog Day, you know, like every day is still the same. They're saying there's going to be some sort of breaking point and things will change, but they are talking about that actually being November. They're talking mid to end of November, okay? But they're also saying that's an important point as well. So is there a family birthday or anniversary at that point? I've got mid to the late November.
End of October.
Yeah, no, fine. The anniversary thing, take that where it is. The thing to do with the breaking point and things changing, and they're talking about a turning of tides, that's going to be mid to late November, okay? He's saying you're going to have to be patient. He, they, he's just correcting me there, sorry. Sorry. Getting told off now. It's like, you know, father and son, it's like steptoe, son, no, sorry. He didn't like steptoe until son, did he? Yeah. Sorry, I'm not talking about like the sink with the eye mode. Do you remember when the old man had the bath and the what? They still have a sense of humour and spirit, you know, in yourself. The steptoe son where he wouldn't have had a bath and he had to have the bath in the eye mode. Right, okay. Sorry, I've lost my flow now because all I can see is a little man with the white hair and the armour, sorry. And the horse and cart. Okay. Right, they're saying that they're